Hi, Jeff Munn, Creating Extraordinary Futures. And I want to talk about something. I want to make explicit something that I don't necessarily talk about a lot. Um, the whole notion of creating extraordinary futures is stepping into that thing that's calling you. Taking the step toward the thing that you've always wanted to do. So that could be quitting your job and starting a new business. That could be changing industries to work in an area that you've always wanted to work in. It could be going for the big promotion that you've got some doubts about whether you're actually qualified for. Could be any of those things. And what I want to suggest to you is that the quickest way to do that, the most effective way to do that, the most powerful way to do that is not to think about what you need to do, but to think about who you need to be. I love the notion, and certainly it is a central point of Christianity. It's part of other religions. It's part of other creation myths in the world, that kind of thing. The hero's journey, this idea of dying and being reborn again. And so you can take that outside of a religious context. And in fact, I think it's incredibly useful to take it outside of a religious context and think about, instead of what you need to do, think about who you need to be, and think about how the you who is currently being is getting in the way of that. In other words, to step into a new identity, you have to let go of the old one. You have to let go of the current one, the one that is rational and practical and thinks small and thinks, I could never do that. Who am I to think that I could do that? Who are you not to, right? You can make that change as quick as I just snap my fingers. You can say, I was an executive in a leadership role at a large financial services firm where I was talking with large employers about their healthcare benefits and their retirement savings benefits and how to get their employees to appreciate that more, and talking about cutting edge ideas. And I can decide I am now an executive coach, and I work with CEOs and founders as they build their businesses and take them to the next level and ultimately sell them. And I made that choice. Now, did the results follow immediately? No. But it was the identity. I was stepping into this future identity that was pulling me forward, that was guiding me on what did I need to do, who did I need to be, who do I need to reach out to, how do I need to show up with them. It was the thing that was pulling me toward that extraordinary future. And now, years later, I am that. Now, I started out as that and then built the other stuff around it, the tasks, the conversations, the writing, the whatever. But that was guiding me. And it continued to change. So some of these things are directional. Like, what is it that's pulling me forward, and how is it pulling me forward? And then trusting that and going with that. And often that hesitation, could I really do this? Could I really be this? And to continue going and to keep going and to keep trying and to keep learning. That's the trick. But doing that is a lot easier when you have stepped into being that. When I left a law firm to join a consulting firm, I found very quickly that the behaviors of a law firm lawyer, the mindset of a law firm lawyer, was not very useful at a consulting firm. When I moved from being a lawyer to managing a group of lawyers, I had to think differently. I had to be different. I had to show up differently. And sometimes I stumbled because I didn't necessarily get that at the time. And I remember in particular, so I moved from, lots of different things. So lawyer to consultant, still a lawyer, but lawyer as a consultant, to managing a group of lawyers at a consulting firm, to managing large client relationships, to managing a group of national subject matter experts. And I screwed up along the way because I didn't understand this being versus doing distinction. And so I kept thinking about how do I do this? But I was still in my old mindset, and I stumbled. I stumbled a lot. And it was only after I became a coach that I realized, oh, to serve people as powerfully as I can, I need to be coming from someplace different. I need to be a different person to show people how much I can help them, how much I can support them, to show people what is actually possible for them if they step into this new identity and if they operate from there immediately instead of assuming it's going to take them 10 years or 20 years to become that person, and that they will become the person only after they do the actions instead of actually becoming the person first and then doing the actions. I hope that makes sense because it's such a fundamental shift, and it is so powerful, and it will save you years if you can see that for yourself in this moment and declare it for yourself in this moment. So that's what I have for this week. I hope you had a great week. Experiment. I mean, you can step into this in any context in your life, whether it's as a parent, as a partner, as at work. If you want to step into a leadership role, start by being a leader. And then you'll find the other stuff comes to you instead of you having to go out and get it and convince people, because it will be so self-evident that you are already that people will give it to you, and they will give it to you willingly. Take care.